Hello everybody, it is Mikenkanikal, or Michael, back again with another video game related video. Today is going to be about Xenoblade Chronicles. I finished it over the weekend, and I just felt like I needed to talk about it because I loved the ending so much, and I want to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles. I actually have the normal version, but like, you know, that version, but I switched out the cover because I like this one better, and plus the back is just that instead of like the whole description and all of like the ratings and stuff. Now, how I got into Xenoblade Chronicles was a long time ago. It was like late 2012, early 2013 when I first heard about it, and I didn't really think of it that much. I was just like, it's just Operation Rainfall, I don't really care. It went a few months by, and then Steven Vlogs, not sure if you've heard about him, he went to Conroy's house, and Conroy, his favorite game of all time is Xenoblade Chronicles. In his vlog, Conroy was like just talking about Xenoblade, like he had a poster and he was like, oh, best game of all time, and then he went to his room and he started showing Steven a few just gameplay scenes, I guess, of Xenoblade, and that's when I was like, you know what, that game kind of looks interesting, I'll look into it. And so I started watching reviews and reading about it, but then it's like, it's hard to find, and I was like, no thanks, I'll just stick to my good old Mario Galaxies on the Wii. It went a while and I didn't give the game a second glance, and then I went down to visit my cousins for around Thanksgiving, and we went to a GameStop, and then I just was like looking through the games and I found Xenoblade, and then I like pick it up and I'm just like, and then I like look over at my dad and I'm like, I'm kind of interested in this game, and then I put it back in and just looked at all the other games, and I didn't even think he heard me because I can't remember if he kind of like looked over and was like, but I didn't even know he knew what game. I didn't even know if he knew what game it was. He just kind of looked up and went, and just kind of went back to looking through whatever he was looking at. And a month later, it was Christmas, and I was opening my gifts, and I opened one of them, and it's like a game shape, and I was like, oh, this is Mario 3D World, because that game came out, I don't have it, and I asked for it, so obviously it is Mario 3D World. And then I open it up, and it's Xenoblade Chronicles, and I was like, whoa, and my dad was like, yeah, I think I remember you mentioning you wanted that game, and I was like, oh, thank you, Dad. So that was about Christmas of 2013, and I started playing it later, like, I can't remember if it was that night or the next day, but it was very close after I got it. Then I started playing it, and it was like an hour or so into the game, and I got to this one enemy, and I just couldn't defeat it for the life of me, and then I kind of rage quit the game, because this is like the first RPG, not Pokemon, that I actually tried to play. I wasn't really still used to all of the RPG things where you have to like practice and train and level up, because I'm usually the kind of person that goes, if it's a story related game and it's this big, I just kind of go through the story. I don't do all the extra everything in it, and so that's what I was trying to do, but it really, you can't do that in Xenoblade Chronicles. So I rage quit for about a month, and then like in February I started playing it again, and I actually started like practicing and training and grinding and stuff, and I fell in love with the game. I just couldn't really stop playing it. I like told everyone about it, and I was like telling everybody about what was happening. I was like, oh, this thing is happening, and then I'm not gonna tell you about it because spoilers, but it's like half an hour into the game, and I was like, or it was like 2 hours into the game, and I was like, I can't tell you because it's too spoiler. It's like 2 hours in the game, dude, too far. Now it's like 2 hours, that's like the first menu. I remember at the point that I rage quit, I had about an hour or 2 hours in there. By the time I got to that same point in the game file that I was trying at, I had a dozen hours in there, so you can tell there was a major difference. I just kind of remember playing it throughout the year of 2014. I remember just on various holidays playing it, like I think I fought Zord on Father's Day or something like that. Then it was about June, Conroy said that he was going to be playing Xenoblade Chronicles on his channel, which he still is. And I remember going like, oh, I gotta finish the game fast before he catches up to me, because then spoilers. And so I remember playing a ton of the game for June and then a little bit into July, but then I kind of stopped at that point, because this game is kind of a game that you have to be really into to play, and it's kind of like, kind of like a seesaw, you know, like you really into it at some times, but then at other points you're just kind of not. But when he announced that he was going to be playing it, that was one of the high points. So I remember playing it a ton and then just not playing it. But then by the time he got to the part of the game that I was at, he was like sick for like 3 months and didn't upload a single episode. So I kind of went further ahead, And then he came back, and then at that point we were just like doing that, because every time I played over the weekend, I played for a while, but then over the course of the week the episodes would catch up, and then I just remember doing that for a while. And then one of my friends came over and he decided to start playing Xenoblade Chronicles, and he like just rushed the game. For whatever reason, he was still good at it. Like he's the kind of person that like reads everything about a game, like reads all the rules, and then he knows exactly how to use those things to his advantage. Like I'm the kind of person that I know how to fight, but it's like I don't know all the bonuses of each attack and how to use it effectively and which armor is best for which monster or whatever. I'm just the kind of person that plays it casually. So that's why close to the end of the game, the bosses got really difficult for me when everybody else was like, oh yeah, I defeated that boss at level 72. I was like, I'm level 81 and I'm still having hard times with this boss. Anyway, I remember him playing it, and for about 20 hours in the game, he got to where I was at about 50. So that's when I was like, hey, I really gotta start speedrunning this game. So I started, I'm not really speedrunning it, but just playing it more often and just playing it more in general. And so that kind of leads me to 2015. Conroy said that he was almost done with his Let's Play, and then I remember I'm almost done with the game. I'm at the point of no return. I'm just grinding for the final boss. And then I finished the game on Saturday night, and the ending was perfect. I remember everybody, like when Conroy said he was almost at the end of the game, and then he goes, yeah, we're not at my favorite cutscene yet though, and then everyone just goes, yeah, it's the last cutscene. The last cutscene is beautiful. It's perfect. It is amazing. Like, oh my gosh, the last cutscene. And I remember, like, what's going to happen in the last cutscene? How can it be better than everything else that's happened? And then I watched the last cutscene, and it's my favorite scene of the game, and no spoilers, but I do love how they all, like, all their armor and stuff, they weren't on it in the cutscenes. Like, usually, like, during the cutscene, everything that you've equipped is, like, visually there, but in the final cutscene, they're all wearing their, like, starting outfits, and it's just, that was probably one of the reasons why that scene was my favorite. But in general, Xenoblade Chronicles was a great game. Like 2 years worth of memories. I remember when Shulk was announced for Smash Brothers, I was so excited. I remember when they announced the new 3DS game, I was like super excited for that as well. I remember going up to one of my friends the day Shulk was announced, because he's like usually at school, and I remember running up to him and I'm like screaming in his face like, Shulk was in Smash Brothers! And I remember like showing everybody who kind of like had some interest in Super Smash Brothers like the Shulk trailer, because it was so pumped and excited, and that is what the character trailer should be. Like, not like, oh darn, they leaked it, oopsie daisy, but like, yes, that character, I never thought he'd get in, he's in, yes! Professor Layton's still not in, but he will be one day. Just mark my words, this video, February 16th, 2015, I said it, Professor Layton will be in Smash Brothers one day. Shulk, the amiibo, the amiibo, it's hard to find. I remember when I first saw the mailman like putting the box into my mailbox, got so excited, I like started crying pretty much, was screaming at the top of my lungs. Thank goodness I was the only person at my house. I repeat, the mailman got out of the truck. I repeat, the mailman got out of the truck. He might have an amiibo. What if it's Shulk? Anyway, that is my Xenoblade Chronicles story. I'm going to be doing the Xenoblade Chronicles challenge soon in the future. I will see you all then. Goodbye, and thank you all for watching.